Hello and welcome to another episode of the Don's Fantasy Playbook. Hey, all my fans, fanatics, thanks for showing up on another week. This fantasy world is all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And on Don's Fantasy Playbook, this is where your dreams become reality. And I'm going to tell you how to get your team together and be ready for playoffs. Because, hey, week 11's coming up. We don't got too much more time until it's playoff time. And some of those leagues that just go four in playoffs, some of them go six. But hey, you might be on that down slope. Let's try to hurry up and get back on. So, with that being said, let's start with last week's top players. Woo! All right. The top quarterbacks from last week, I tell you, Joe Cool showed up. The man Joe Burrow showed up last week, producing 34 points. 34 points. The man was 34 of 56 for 428 yards. Joe Burrow, okay. Four titties. Four TDs. I tell you, Lamar Jackson even showed up. Hey, but this is what he does. Action Jackson's been doing this, so this ain't nothing new. This week it was 33 points. Lamar Jackson, let me tell you this: 25 of 33, 290 yards, and four touchdowns. And he also rushed for 7 attempts for 33, 7 carries, I guess I say, for 33 yards. I mean, Lamar's having perfect games these days. He's on his way to another MVP season. Hey, Jalen Hurts. Hey, he was doing it, but I mean, he really he produced, but he didn't have to really do too much. You think? He really didn't. Jalen Hurts 14 for 20 for 202 yards. Yeah, you like, how did he get what he got? Hey, he also rushed that ball for 7 times for 56 yards and two touchdowns. So he had two throwing and two running. Jaden back to him old self right there. Uh, Callum Murray. Callum Murray. Yes. The little guy. Arizona. 29 points he produced this past week. And he was close to perfect. I'm talking about 22 of 24 for 266 yards and one touchdown. He also rushed that ball. You know he did. He get out of that pocket. He'll scamper out. He just had 3 carries for 21 yards and two touchdowns. So Kyler Murray, hey, he had Arizona looking great, and that doesn't happen too much more these days. So hey, let's move on to the running backs. It wasn't too many running backs that really impressed me. So I'm just gonna call out a couple. Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson. Kirk Cousins don't be doing it sometimes, but Bijan shows up most of the time. Let's say that. Bijan he had 29 and a half points. Hey, he had 20 rushes for 116 yards and two touchdowns. But I'm telling you, some people ain't even paying attention this month. This man Chuba Herbert, Chuba, hey, 25 points. He's sneaky. I'm telling you. You don't even know. You be like, Chuba's doing that? Yes, Chuba's one of the top rushers in the league right now. He had 25 points. Well, let's go over that. We already know. But Carolina, they feed him that ball. He had 28 rush attempts for 153 yards and one tutty. I'm talking about he had like 68 yards in the first quarter, so it was going to look good for him the rest of the game. Let's move on to the wide receiver core. And to top it off at the wide receiver, we know Joe Cool had a good game, but Jamir Chase, he had a great game. I'm talking about unremarkable. One of the top scorers for the year. 55, 55. Let me say it one more time for you. 55 and a half points. we're gonna get to the stats later, but 55 and a half points. You just remember that. So, Marquez Valdez Scantley. Yeah, have you? When's the last time you heard that? Yeah, you're right. A long time. Hey, he showed up. Maybe the rest of New Orleans don't, but he did. But he got 26 points, 3 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. That'll get you 26 points. So who knows if we see that again? Because New Orleans, whew, they falling like the London Bridge did. Hey, Calvin Ridley, Tennessee, 25 and a half points this past week. And that's another place. It's like I guess somebody gets to catch the ball down there for Mr. Mayo, man. So he had 5 catches for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. So, uh, hey, he produced. He did produce. You got him the ball, he produced, and he put up the 25 points. So you can't go wrong with that if you had him in your lineup. Hey, let's move on. Let's move on to the tight ends. Whew. You know, I mean, this guy right here, Travis Kelsey's trying to show back up. He's been showing back up lately in these past couple weeks. Now he's trying to make this weekly. This makes Kansas City even more deadly. Travis Kelsey, 20 and a half points this past week. He had 8 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Yes, he did. Mark Andrews, Baltimore, 19 points this past week. 6 receptions, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. Yes. Now Mark Andrews a part of that offense. You got Lamar clicking like he does. Ooh, Baltimore, they can be deadly. Watch out. Hey, let's move on. And the defense of the week. I got 2 of them for you. I got 2. Let me tell you one. The top one, the Eagles. The Eagles produced 20 points. At that 20 points, let me tell you what they did. They had 1 interception. They had 4 fumble recoveries. You heard me. 4 fumble recoveries. Had 3 sacks, and they held their opponent to 6 points. And their overall total yards to 146 points total yardage. Ooh, that was some defense played right there. The Buffalo Bills, okay, 17 points. They played some defense this past week, so they getting ready for next week, I guess. So with that said, they had 3 interceptions, a pick six, a fumble recovery, and 4 sacks. So hey, okay, Buffalo. All right. Next up, we going to the kicker. Hey, Joshua, the kicker, Joshua Curdy. Now, Joshua Curdy had 18 points for the Rams. And you like, hold up. He had more fantasy points than the Rams did. Scored. Rams scored 15. Yeah. That tells you. Joshua scored all the Rams' points. Yes, he did. He had 5 field goals. Let's start off with 134-yard field goal, 155-yard, 155-yard field goal, 153-yard field goal, a 22-yard field goal, and a 31-yard field goal. Man, there was other teams kickers couldn't hit a field goal. This man put up 5. We're not going to talk about the other team. Yeah. But hey, let's move on because we got to know about what's coming what's going on. I mean, who's doing what? We got to know who's doing what. So, with that being said, who showed up and showed out and you didn't think it was even going to happen? You didn't predict it. So, let's tell you, that's our overachievers coming right there. Our overachiever. Hey, this man right here, Talon Wallace. Talon Wallace out of Baltimore. And I was like, Wallace? Wallace who? 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 This man had 20 and a half points. He was projected. Let me tell you what he was projected. Point one. Point one. Yes. He had 3 receptions, 115 yards, and a touchdown. He was targeted 3 times. So, hey, every time that ball came to him, he made something of it. Hey, I heard you. You did what you what you supposed to do, and then some. So Wallace, thanks for taking over the Overachiever Award for this week. More help in Baltimore. Watch out. Hey, now this we was looking, and we didn't see him. Who did not show up to the dance? Who did not bring a date? Who do not? Who didn't? They shouldn't even showed up to the game half the time when you say it. It's like, come on, man. So Denver's down there doing Denver things like they do. So Javonte Williams, people are starting Javonte. I mean, he was predicted to be a good player this year in fantasy sports. This man had 1 carry, 1 yard, 2 receptions for 6 yards. Yeah, nowhere in sight. 2.7 points. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's not going to get you nowhere. Nowhere. Now, I think one of my opponents had him, so hey, more power. Yeah. All right, but let's move on because we got to know, it's week 11 coming up. Who do we want to start? Who do we want to play? What's some good matchups out there? So let me tell you who to start. All right. First, I'm going to go with Jaden Reed out of Green Bay. So Green Bay's had some issues right there with a lot of injuries at one point. You got guys going down, other guys got picked up. So Jaden Reed's a good one to start. I'm looking at. I mean, somebody got to catch the ball. This is to me. I'm just like, hey, and I think that he guess what they going against the Birds. The Birds can give it ball. They let people do what they want at times, especially because their offense ain't doing it. Let's say that. Mm, mm-mm. We going with George Pickens. Now we know how George is, and I've seen some replays not long ago about him doing some tricks behind the referee's back. But sometimes you need those dogs on your team. Somebody got to be that guy. Somebody needs to be that pit. So they are allowing, we'll say they are going against the Ravens now. Pittsburgh going against the Ravens. Now we know the Ravens allow people to pass all on them. They'll win, but you can pass on the Ravens. The Ravens secondary is they are terrible. Just terrible. They are giving up a total of 314 yards passing a game. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. But they end up winning. But George should be able to get him some balls. Next up, you got Aaron Jones. So with that being said, um, we got the Titans. The Titans give up like 23 points a game to running backs. So as combined, it's one, but they let some guys run on them. And plus, Aaron Jones can catch it out the backfield at times. So I think mm, I'm giving Aaron Jones a run on the Titans because the Titans are, well, yeah, they are not looking too good these days. Not at all. And Mr. Golf. In Detroit, Detroit, hey, they got Jacksonville this week. And with that being said, Jacksonville allows the third most passing yards a game. Detroit got weapons all over the field. And Jeff, I think he's going to redeem himself after this past week of throwing five interceptions. This man threw five interceptions. Like, what? So he's coming back to redeem himself. He got to. He got to. Because Detroit got, yeah, they got a squad, but they got to do better. And they won with that. Terrible. Oh, man. But, then we got the Vikings defense. You got the Vikings defense, start them. They're going against the Titans. Now, with that being said, the defense who goes against the Titans, well, let's say this, the Titans give up the second most points to whatever defense they play in. So, I know Mr. Mayo himself, Will Mayo Levis, he throws those INTs for pick sixes. He fumbles for fumble return sixes. So I'm thinking the Vikings are going to have a big game against the Titans. Hmm, I see it. Let's move on. Let me show you who to bench for this week. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, Caleb Williams. At first, he had a low. Then he went try to get some, high, as in, make people believe in him. Now he's going down back to a level where I thought he was going to be. Not believable as in the quarterback he was supposed to be. So I'm keeping Caleb Williams on the bench. They're going against Green Bay. And you mess around, Caleb Williams, you're going to have some of those that sinker dirt in Green Bay pick you off. And Jair Alexander would love it. I know for sure. So with that, Green Bay contains their quarterbacks, their defense, to like averaging like 17 points a game. So that and Caleb Williams mix, yeah, I'm seeing less than that. I'm taking the under for sure. Jalen Waddle, hey, so they're going against the Raiders this week. The Raiders give up the fourth least to wide receivers. And would you even think that the Raiders? Maybe not. But Waddle has not been even getting the ball as much as you would think, and he did I think he got a touchdown last week. But I'm seeing more balls are going elsewhere, and you even seeing people showing up that don't even know. So he got to get back in the mix. Let's say that. But I'm keeping on bench. I'm not taking a jeopardy. I'm just keeping him on the bench, and he might do a little something, but I'm not using one of my slots for it. So let's go down to Tank Bixby. You know, you've heard me talk about Tank Bixby keep on that bench, probably hold Jacksonville half the team. But now they going against the Detroit Lions. And Detroit, they keep running backs to an average of 76 yards a game. And with that being said, I'm taking the under on Tank with 76 yards. So, mm, yeah, I don't. I'm keeping on the bench. Yeah, it's we don't even know who's quarterbacking these days, and it's so much chaos going on in Jacksonville. I don't know. Get with Mr. Khan down there. Ask him what's going on. All right, Dalton Kincaid. Now, I want to tell you about him right here. He's day to day. We don't know really what's going on. He could be injured, maybe not. If he's coming back, but now, I don't know. His balls are going elsewhere. He's not getting as much love. So, and they are the Kansas City Chiefs. That's how I think of who they're going against. The Chiefs. The Chiefs are stingy with tight ends. They stingy. That's one thing the Chiefs defense does do. They hold the run, they contain the run, and they contain the tight ends. Yeah, I hate to admit that, but yeah, they do. So I'm keeping Kincaid on my bench, and that's even if he plays. Who knows? And the last but not least, the Steelers defense. And I got one word for the Steelers defense, or shall I say two? Lamar Jackson. Yeah, bench him because you can't hold that man at all. Hey, Action Jackson, he is the guy. All right. So look, while y'all watching your football this coming Sunday, and enjoying. Matter of fact, that Monday afternoon, take a trip down to Mile Wide Bird Company, one of our sponsors. Hey, indulge in one of their fine adult beverages, and you can order food while you're in there. So hey, go down there, Mile Wide Bird Company. Good drink for sure. Let's move on. Now, who are some of our waiver wire guys? Now, while Dawson Knox, now he has lost. I mean, Kincaid, Dawson Knox. I mean, there's so much going on. Dawson Knox is coming back in the mix because if Kincaid really can't play, make sure you put Dox in there because he will be instrumental of getting Josh Allen, and he's got to get that ball somewhere, especially you're going against Kansas City, and don't let them get down early, and which possibly they could. He's going to have to throw it. So you need somebody to fill in. Hey, Dawson Knox to take over. Trey Benson. Now you might have James Conner. I know James Conner been doing his job most definitely, but they run that man, and you might want to pick up Trey to handcuff him to have him ready. Some of y'all James Conner owners, and he just owned in 19% of the leagues. So hey, might want if you got an empty spot down there on your bench, Go ahead and fill him in. Why not? Gus Edwards. Now, we don't know what's going on with J.K. Dobbins, but Gus Edwards is ready to come in and, get some touches and, fill in where he can. And I'm hearing, Harbaugh is liking what he's seen lately and might play him, give him some more snaps and keep him moving. So, with that being said, Gus Edwards just owned in 8% of leagues. So, if you got J.K. Dobbins, might be a handcuff, so keep him handy. Now, that's one thing you never thought you'd even see. Yeah, maybe again. Because Russell Wilson back, picked him up off the waiver wire. Who would have thought? In years back, you picking Russell off waiver wire in week 11? But hey, Russell is just on in 30% of leagues. And at times, Russell still can't play. I mean, he has been one of those quarterbacks. The man has won. He has won. So give him a chance. I mean, you might have one of your top guys out. Somebody. Some of these bye week teams are. You might have somebody to replace. So put Russell in for a week. It might surprise you. Oh, but they are going against the Ravens. So he's going to be throwing. I'd say he's going to be throwing that ball because they're going to get down. And last but not least, Noah Brown. After he, might know Noah Brown for making that catch, that last second catch for Washington the other week when they beat Chicago. But he's been making some waves, so I didn't want to pick him up too quick. But now he's starting to get consistent. So you might want to go ahead and go for it. So scoop him up. You might have a man to bat. Fill in for Marvin Harrison Jr., scoop him in, put him in. Just see what he does. Might as well. Won't hurt. Whew. All right. Hey, Final Empire. Final Empire is another sponsor of 54 Sports Network. So, hey, if you want to get in touch with us, let us know. We look for more sponsors. Hey, and we reaching thousands, over 20,000 people we reaching. So, hey, just reach out. 54 Sports Network. So let's move on. And this week, it comes down to it. Somebody got to get the award, or do I say the title, of just being so trash for this week. And, I didn't want to be like this, but at the same time, how they came out and played, it was pretty pathetic. So I had just given the award, even though, probably nobody gets Cooper Rush or Trey Lance on your fantasy team. But you got to think about it. Their quarterback affects their wide receivers. They affect their tight end. So you're affecting CD Lamb. You're affecting Jake Ferguson. You're affecting, other guys on that field. So when y'all bring out these backups, Cowboys, yeah, I just had to talk about. I got to throw it out there. They trash. So you got Cooper Rush. You got Trey Lance. I mean, Cooper he was 13 of 23, 45 yards, 2 fumbles, -2 points. Trey Lance was 4 for 6, 21 yards in an interception. 54, 0.54. Yeah, but yeah, it was just terrible. I mean, y'all was horrible. Y'all was horrible. Y'all was horrible. Y'all was horrible. Hey, it is what it is. It's all fun and games, but hey. But before I keep now, this is gonna be, where I'm gonna throw out unsportsmanlike conduct this week for this guy, Debo Samuel. Just for being Debo and being stupid. Come on, man. Come on. Keep the emotion to yourself. I know it's in the game. I know you're feeling it, but oh man, you just can't push people around and almost hit the kicker. At least he redeemed himself. Moody redeemed himself. But Debo, you give my sportsmanlike conduct award today. Flag on you, man. Flag on you. Let me move on. Piss me off, Debo. Hey, but I said it earlier. The guy who showed up and played. Man was catching balls all over the field. But they still lost. But hey, Jameer Nelson. I mean Jameer Chase. What I'm thinking of. Jameer Chase. 11 receptions, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. The man was projected 21.6 points. He got 55.4. Ugh, that is ugly. So, yes, you get my player of the week. I mean, that right there performance, that's player of the year performance right there. But y'all just can't be losing like that. Oh man. Hey, yes, it finally happened. The Don went 4-0 this past week. 4-0. I was whooping tail left and right each league. I mean, I beat daughter's boyfriend. I beat buddies. I beat oh god. Hey, I even had to beat a woman. I mean, sorry, but no domestic violence. But hey, she was in my way. I had to take her out. I mean, everybody showed up for once. That's for once, and I'm in the middle. I'm trying to creep up some leagues. I'm in fifth. I'm in fourth. I'm in sixth. I mean, trying to get right in the mix. That's all. Trying to get right there to finagle my way to the end to reach a playoff spot. But hey, this week I'm taking on. I don't know if he's the number one player or the number two team in the league in 54 Sports Network. Antoine, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you this week. Coming to take you out. You and your uh fake team, your non-drafting team. Yeah, fake. Mm. But yeah, it was a good week. I mean, other than that, good football week. With that, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't complain about this past weekend. I can't. I mean, other than Jake Moody for the 49ers missing 3 field goals, and he did put out the end, redeem himself, but hey, we did win. That's all. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Don's Fantasy Playbook. We just like to have fun, have a good time, talk fantasy sports. Anytime you want to talk fantasy sports, hit me up. I talk it all day. I actually doing fantasy basketball too. I started doing that, and by getting ready for tonight, I think I forgot to put my lineup in because that's one thing on fantasy basketball you got to watch out for is you got to put your lineup in every night. Got to make sure it's in. So till next time. Hope your Week 11 goes great for you. Thanks for tuning in. Another great week. And you know what? Hey, do something extraordinary this week. Do something fantastic. Help out someone that you wouldn't only help out. Do it for you, not for anybody else. You know, sometimes it ain't all about you. So, you know what? Have a great week, people. It's the Don, and I'm out. Peace.